Sometimes it doesn't take very long for people to tune in, but I'm still going to give it just a few quick 5 or so. Let's do something there, actually. That way I can see when somebody does. And you can always skip ahead. I just rather talk when there's somebody here. Okay. Uploaded as opposed to live stream. Whoops. Television. Actually, I said that was wrong, but anyway. I mean, I replied right away, but he's already in other messages. Online, though, but. Figured a friend might be able to tune in, so. Oh, but the hi there. 16 after 10 minutes ago, I guess you can tell me to stay. I'm looking, though, too. I'm watching to see if anybody's tuned in. I don't want to be too much more distracted than this. Oh, I just saw that he saw my message, I think. Woohoo! Okay. Let's just see. I don't think he's going to ignore it. He never does, and I don't think he's going to. He does have some health struggles sometimes, but he's in Holland, so he might be one of those places that has a. Well, I mean, we are too, kind of, because I am getting those checks now. Um, but I'm watching. Nobody's here, so I am getting hungry though. I just don't know what to have. Might end up being pizza. Which isn't terrible, but I eat a lot of pizza. I'd love for it to be that thing I ordered the other day, but I need to get through Saturday first, for reasons mentioned in the previous podcast as one of the red topics. Clearly, I am, and it's my purpose. Yeah. Oh yeah, there is. It's not much, but there is. I'm thankful. Anyway, I mean, I kind of want to hop into this video for people that see it afterwards, but never guarantee how much that'll be. So I'd really love if you can come and watch the live. I do have to step away just upstairs very, very quickly, and also I'm going to check that out. I'm wondering if the person that just tuned in is who I think it is. Either way, glad to have you here. Welcome. Uh, and it sounds like you might not have a lot of time to be here. No, I don't think it is because you left. what I'm actually going to do, see if it works. Just to be helpful and move things along a bit. Because this device, the browser works better, and it has the right back. I keep up. That's where the speed just went blue with the same inch, but still. I'm not sure what to think about the fact that he isn't here yet. Because he sounded like he was open to it. Do you think he said something about tuning in for a little bit before he heads to work? I would have imagined it was evening there, but I guess he works nights. Can't remember exactly. Okay, 7. Huh, both places. I guess they're close to each other, and I just don't know geography. Yeah, that's likely. Maybe I'll make this joke when nobody's here because it could be taken wrong, but it's pretty much just a joke. I think I thought of the approach to do for this video, and it's holding you here against your will. Sorry. And again, that wasn't mean to sound dark or twisted, but if you heard it that way, maybe examine your way of thinking about that kind of thing. And now I'm just putting lotion on and not just rubbing my hands together. But again, for people that see this afterwards, and there's always going to be some. There just is. You know, I did another podcast earlier today, and it was kind of quietly received. And, there's always going to be, and so I'd really like it if this one wasn't. But again, after the fact, there's still some potential there too. I do actually want to click into this one friend's thing for a moment. One, to say hi, and two, for one other reason. Okay. Goo for wildflower? um, so, the approach I think I'm going to do with this video is basically thinking about what I would like to do today and how. That was patient of you. Just kidding. I know, it's like, who cares what you'd like to do today? Just go do it. I have to. So many people, they come to the internet just to kind of get their thoughts out or ask for input or, you know, um, I don't know. Maybe it was the way that it introduced that. But anyway, or maybe their phone died and that's all it was. It's not even showing it's online on this one, but it's showing it there. It's weird. Then sometimes it said, sometimes it delivered. Anywho, okay, now things are frozen. I'd like it if they unfroze. Something suddenly smells really kind of good and interesting. Hmm. Okay, finally, it unfroze. Marcus couple can mean different things, and that's fine. So anywho, and just kind of what getting through my day looks like for me, and maybe you'll relate to it, maybe you won't. And strategies I learn along the way. For me, with uh, the way my life has been lately, I mean, there was a bit of busyness for a little while there, but it's podcasting is something, whether there's many people here and they're putting, lovely comments, or it's really quiet, except for what I'm putting into it. Um, of course, I do prefer the engagement and the interaction, but either way, it does help me get through the days when I don't have plans. Um, when we're trying to get through the days, we have to think about things like wellness, you know, doing things that help us feel good um, when we, in some ways, may not feel great. Um, I am pretty good at putting myself in other people's shoes, metaphorically. So I might try and do that, whether somebody says something or not. We'll see. But I just want to, another thing that I would suggest is, I don't want to just put them all into the video and people that it would read just read it. I want them to actually hear it too. But another thing that I would suggest is, for lack of a different way of putting it, checking in with yourself. In the previous video, I had mentioned that I didn't know if I really felt up to doing a bike ride to something that I don't have to do but might like to do. And I said a few other things. Um, however, um, um, and so it's been about 30 or 40 minutes maybe, but I'm going to, and again, do this along with me and let me know what it feels like for you. I mean, you're sitting on YouTube, so you obviously are giving yourselves at least a few minutes of um, time for yourself, even if that is including me, but the person left, so I guess not. But I'm thinking of a song that most of you probably won't know unless you've heard me do it once or twice on here, because it's by someone local who it's an original song. It's by a she gigs more than I do, but she's still, I would say, a small artist. I don't think she tours much with her music. She's not widely known about, and I know it from the open mic she used to host at. So I mean, anybody that but then in the middle of it, and I wouldn't know if afterwards and say, "Oh, you must be from so and so if you know that from such and such if you know this song," and wouldn't want that to happen. So, but so when I check in with myself, chapstick if you're curious, chapstick if you're not, I am thinking a couple things, two or three things. One, I'm getting hungry. I haven't eaten since about 8, and it's almost 12:30. Um, this isn't super highly charged, this device, but it would be enough to. And now it's outline, but I don't know if that means it's coming here. It would be enough to go quickly out there and decide, see if I could talk myself into, like, as far as eating goes. I don't think we should force ourselves to eat just to eat. I am very much one of the many people who does who was raised on set meal times, or not set meal times, but at least 3 meals a day. I actually don't snack all that much these days, but so you know, there is a part of me that kind of takes that back and saying, well, but it is lunchtime, so I should eat. Um, you know, just a little after 12. But I mean, the time can vary a little bit. But as long as you're getting meals in and trying to be healthy, that's kind of the main thing as far as that goes. But at the same time, sometimes I think, should we eat if we're not? I mean, unless we don't think we're going to get, we're going to have time to stop and do so later, and we can't eat during our other plans, and we feel like we might regret, we might wish that we had if we don't. Then that makes sense, But for me, I can kind of do it whenever. But I have noticed I'm getting a bit hungry, and probably at some point I might get too hungry to I'll just, the things that I'm not sure whether I'm craving because I eat them a lot, I might just say, I'll just have them. But when I think about the fact that it's still kind of early in the day, just want to see. I think that was fully charging over there. Right? Yeah. It's still kind of early, and sometimes nice to do a bit of coffee in the day. Sorry, one other thing. And it's something that I kind of want to do. One, to play a song and realizing that likely my bike will be fine, and if not, and I can't fix it, I would have to ask, for a ride home from somebody. I mean, I don't know if most cabs, well, they're about the size of a usual car, but I really am not rich. I can't really afford to cab, and I don't, no. But, so when I think about the fact that I'm already not feeling super energetic and I'm biking one or both ways to where I'm going, and I don't, I've spent most of my spending money for now. I want to, I'm going to have the rest of this cookie. Hopefully my mouth is healed enough and good protein. Sometimes I find them too sweet. Okay, so that's a start. That would mean I have to bring that with me. If I used yesterday, it was fine. But I can't lay up because I need it. I seen that there for you. Caffeine, There's 3 potential things that I could have, which sounds like a decent amount of options, but I don't know. So anyway, what are tips that, or what are tips that you either have or things that you'd like help on in getting through your day, the real lapse, or whatever? If people want to know, are stuck enough or whatever, they want to know, they're like, can you give me tips about this particular aspect? And I might even look this up myself, this topic, because it's kind of a good one. In fact, 1 minute here. Holy smokes, unless it's catching up, this chat is going really fast. Oh, it did, eh? Oh, cool. Well, this is interesting. somebody who I don't follow super actively, and of course now my thing wants to freeze up. Well, I don't know about the video, but the pointer seems to want to. So I'll have to wait for a moment. Oh, I saw movement. Anyway, just hearted one of my comments on hers. So I've been doing that a little bit more lately, commenting on other people. It's not that, I give a like pretty readily if something that I like, and usually there's always something. But and funny, she was wearing something a little similar to this actually in the video I watched of hers, different color. But yeah, but it's good to support each other on YouTube, whether fellow content creators or otherwise. And I wanted to make sure I went back to that video and such and such. How's things looking in here? A bit better, I would say. A little bit. I mean, I'm almost tempted. Yeah, the stuff that I'm waiting till Saturday afternoon to have, for certain reasons, is kind of so. That's part of it. The wellness aspect, as getting through your day, and focusing on that. There's somebody briefly there, but I don't think she would. I mean, even though her comment was just 7 minutes ago, and she may have only read a bit of it, said, "Okay, I'll read the rest of this later. I'm going to go check this out." We can hope, right? I'm going to actually get the charger. If the truth be told, I don't know how long I'm actually going to be standing out here trying to figure out food and such, sustenance in life, and I don't want it to drop. Well, yeah. So, also your physical body, it's amazing how even just a little bit of stretching, you don't have to do anything super active, but a little bit of stretching can really help, movement. Well, the other day she didn't seem to get on something. Said I actually have a meeting during a few minutes. Anyway. I also don't really want to be eating on camera, so I might just see. There's a couple of people I'm hoping might pop into this, but one of them was heading to work, and maybe it's like, oh, I didn't realize what time it was, and I don't have much time, and just wasn't able to multitask or whatever. And the other one I only just told 2 to 5 minutes ago, so no excuse if she's 5 minutes later than this. Just kidding. But see, with the breathing suggestion, like the deeper focused breathing, deep the same as shallow. Sometimes it'll. This is speaking of noise. I don't want the thing to be completely off. That's the thing. No, it's not. Or it would be better. Anyway, your body will know when you need to do it for the most part. Like I found myself a moment ago just doing it. But sometimes, I'm in a mostly relaxed state right now. If you're going, and you're moving fast or whatever, in your day, then you might not notice it unless you try to. And people will call it cleansing. They will call it revitalizing, whatever you want to call it. Just do it. You don't have to even name it. Just do it. Well, at least I get to have that tomorrow, but I don't think there's really anything in there. So that's one thing. Oh, except for that water, maybe. But I'm not going out yet. And it's not frozen yet. So, and if it's still pretty warm out, and if I don't bring it frozen, then or at least mostly frozen, it will get warm fast. So eating is definitely very much on my mind right now, obviously, after doing the kind of self-check-in. Um, um, it's just I'm not really sure what I want. That's what they say in the hard part. I do sometimes eat out of boredom or because the other person in the home is snacking, and also because I don't want to be up in the middle of the night, and it seems to work quite well, coming to the fridge or the pantry, right? But in our home, we do a lot of, I know we shouldn't, it's probably caused the celiac a little bit, but I am a bit of a picky eater. And not necessarily a fancy cook either. So, I mean, it's not all I eat, but I do a lot of pasta and pizza and stuff like that. So that's two of the options we got here. Um, oh. We also have something that's been in the fridge for a few days, like 3 or 4 maybe. I got G from a restaurant. I ordered, I think before he got home from work that day, um, some hot peppers with cheese and bacon stuffing in them. Um, but he didn't like the peppers. He didn't think they were hot peppers, and he doesn't like other peppers. He thought they were bell peppers cut to look like a hot pepper or something. I don't know, but I don't like either. So pretty much. So if you do, too bad you aren't here because I could give them to you. He said, "Well, you said they was in the fridge." Yeah, but if they look and smell fine, I'm sure they are. Like it hasn't been that long. It's not like they've been sitting out on the counter, right? Um, well, it looks like it's going to be pizza. That's what it's looking like, folks. Either that or another cookie. I'd rather save those, even though we have 2 things of them. I'd rather save them for after a nap or when I run out of breakfast items. Like this wrap thing that I've been making lately. If we're talking about healthy, it's not exactly that healthy. It's a wrap with paneer, which is, I believe, a type of cheese. But then I could put other cheese in it too. It's true, and then it's a bit better. I don't know if I want to put that veggie ground in it, but what I'm very surprised about and disappointed about is that Yves is going out of business. Apparently, they haven't been selling enough. I mean, there are other companies that make stuff, but this is the one I've been mostly using, and it's really it's pretty good, and it just adds to my cooking. It cooks well, it can burn easily, but and we are well stocked on it right now. But I'm thinking I might end up having it with pasta tonight, unless I have pizza tonight, which is essentially almost like cheese bread with a topping or two, right? And it's just a pepperoni pizza. Um, hmm. The other thing is that these wrap things can be a bit dry. So do I have some sort of dip that I'd want to have with it? This honestly should probably be thrown out. November 18th, 2025? Not quite. I almost want one of those beers, but that makes me. Yeah. Is this really almost empty? I've been using a lot. Not really. I don't think so. Okay, I'll keep it empty. I don't think it should be completely upside down when it's got this much in it because it'll come out really fast. Well, that one's all business probably. Barbecue sauce. I'm not actually big about barbecue sauce. I don't hate it, but I'm not really big about it either. Chicken sauce, I don't think I like. It's looking like it might be that cream sauce. You know that they make a jalapeno cheese whiz now? It's true. I wouldn't say it if it wasn't. It gives the impression, unless it's just because I keep getting a little bit warm under the collar, gives the impression as if it actually might be pretty hot out today. Not a lot of cloud cover. It's nicer than I thought it would be, but okay. So I'm almost talking myself into the wrap. The other thing that we have, and it's not round. And if I'm cooking, I might let the dog down here because she's cooking. It looks like it's it's got a couple spots on it. Not necessarily, I don't think it's mold, although it could be the start of mold. But I uncover it, because I don't like to be wasteful, and there are people that don't have food. And I pull that back a little bit, and it doesn't look too bad. I've been eating this for days, and I kind of got bored of it, but I should be using it up. That would make it healthier too, right? So I think I am going to make that. So I think I'm going to let the dog down because I'll be home at least long enough to eat it and to make it and eat it. And maybe even longer. And he knows I'm home. I'm sure he knows I'm home. And he's up there. Yeah. Oh, he is he? Improv? I think he means improv. Just a moment here. I just noticed somebody that I follow, and I know a little bit of their community. Well, I saw? He must have saw what's her face there, and oh, I see. Okay. She must have missed that comment, but that somebody put because she didn't respond to it that I'm seeing, and there's not a lot here yet. I'll be right back. I know it's asking that thing, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta. You gotta consider yourself a good friend. He does fine. Let the dog downstairs with it. Laying in his crate. He doesn't eat it. There's even cool images there too. It's only because she's already there. I don't know if she's I thought she was subscribed, maybe into the name. There's something else I feel like I kind of need to do, and I want to share it with you because then you can see that it's real when I can feel it, and I think it's something that I need to do. It's interesting because I am quite self-aware. I don't know how people can't be, but again, if they're running on autopilot and they're just, going at such a pace in their life, or, super distracted or whatever, got so many struggles or whatever, then they might not be. But I'm fairly aware of myself for the most part, and in some ways, it's a gift. There was someone there for a few seconds, but anyway. And speaking of gifts, my dad in spirit, again, when I can feel these things, it's great. But the keyword is when. My dad in spirit, I see him kind of leaning in the doorway, casually, relaxed. This one, I thought, for some reason, I almost sensed he was going to be there, but maybe because that's right in front of me. But it's interesting because it just shows the realness. It just shows the realness that what we may think or expect from our angels in heaven. Sorry, this is almost empty. So, even though it may not be bad otherwise, may not be initially what we expect. Sometimes it's very lonely, and I don't feel, when they're quiet. I mean, when the videos are quiet. When they're not, it's great. But I don't know as many people on that one. But I'm going to hold off on that and start my cooking for a moment here. So if you missed it, what I'm going to do first is, and you can use whatever, type of oil, or I guess don't they call it coconut oil? So that's oil too, come think of it. I don't really cook with coconut oil, and I always think of my step, which gives me mixed feelings because he cooks with it a lot. But I'm almost wondering, because I bet we probably have it. But if it doesn't jump out at me, then I won't use it. And it doesn't, so I won't. Who do we got watching? Glad to have you here. Welcome. Really appreciate you, and I hope that you're having a great day. I have it on live all messages. So okay, so also what helps when cooking, and sometimes I forget, even when I'm not podcasting, I'll be doing other things, or I don't know. It's like, oh, it would help if I turned this on. It might actually need a bit more butter than I gave it. There was somebody there for a moment or so. Oh, I'm definitely curious about that, though. Well, I'll just press play when I come to it later, because I think I'm sensing by the chat what songs he's playing, and I think it would be really suited. Ironically, because he's been wearing a suit lately, too. I do kind of feel ignored by him. But I think he realizes I'm talking with people in the chat, and I'm not the only one. Well, they're talking with me, but I see other people occasionally talking with other people. But he's mostly focused on the song. I mean, he says a little bit every now and then. But So yeah, I'm going to put a bit more of this. Right. And then it's a matter of what cooks the fastest. Like I say, if I'm having that in pasta, I'm tempted not to, and it's not like it's like, but we have a lot. I don't know if it would go bad, but we have a lot of it. I don't think I finished that one the other day, did I? But if I didn't, I don't see it. So I hate to open another one because I actually feel like there might be two open, but whatever. I don't know if that'll go, but like I said, I feel like this one needs some sort of sauce, and a lot of the sauces we have right now are not really sauces I like. They're more the other person in the house. Do I want olives? Well, I'll probably have that in the pasta as a pizza tonight. But they do, I have seen olives go moving, so it's actually quite a full can. Well, they often are. Okay, I need to get something in there. What I'm going to do first, because then it'll give it a chance to cool since I'll be holding it when I eat it. They are starting, they were clipped, but there must have been a bit of an opening. They are starting to dry out a little bit. Last grocery order we got them, so that's not super long ago, but what I like to do is crisp it. Okay. It seems to be on that plate with his head, but no point. That's a sauce I've used, although it is past new. I try not to have sugar too much past new, and even though I sometimes lose the energy. Oh, look at all that tumor that it just dumped in the sink, which is pretty clean at the moment, but no. Oh, that's kind of interesting. And then when I splashed water on it, some of it washed away and it left what looks either like, because the heart is not actually shaped like a heart. I don't think it is. I don't know why. I mean, I may or may not know why people think it is, but it's more like this with things, and they call them chambers and like things, and that's kind of what it looks like. But then it's even receded a little bit. It also kind of looked like a bird laying on its back with its feet, seeing things and things. Pareidolia, right? I think. But yeah, because I usually nap and I want to be able to nap, and I did. But then again, I don't know. We also have this, which doesn't look like what I thought it would, but I've already been having some of it. It doesn't look nice, but looks like dirty water is really what it looks like. But it's actually sunflower oil with a truffle flavoring. Olive oil and so yeah. So I don't actually notice that it has that much flavor, to be honest. And if I'm gonna be having orange cheese and I'm using butter, that's already quite a bit of oil going on. Not like I never do it, but I'll take a bit of syrup, just a bit, for dipping. And if I can't nap, well then hopefully that will both of us, and we'll try longer because it's Friday. Woo! Okay. Next, I don't know if I've ever done an instructional about this actually, but next we're going to take your cabbage. You can use lettuce because cabbage does have a distinct flavor. You can use whatever you want, really. Good if you're getting a vegetable, especially if you need to eat more vegetables. People say they don't like vegetables, or salads, but I bet you they'd have no complaints about lettuce in their tacos. A lot of them. A lot of those very same people. So the element's been on for a while. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. But both this and this cook fast. Oh, I have done it with the paneer with the ground before. With the ground, but do I want to do it today? I think I've almost got myself in the mood to have it, but I think I'm going to put it in the pasta tonight. I'm having good clips right now. Oh well. Or on the pizza. I sometimes do that too. Glass in here. Oh right, that's from that cup. Also, the thing of cleaning through the fridge every now and then. Maybe if you're in a busier household where more people are eating, it's circles. Things don't get kind of stuck in the back as much. But there's only two of us here. Now, seasonings. With my mouth sore, though it's mostly healed, but I'm also still recovering from over here with the dentist too. I didn't find this to be all that strong that day actually. But I'm gonna put some Italian seasoning. And I have put some Parmesan cheese maybe on the wrap itself, but that wouldn't really go with the maple, eh? I do have some garlic salt over there. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, it looks like it'd be too hot, and then I think it would just really quickly drain me today. I am gonna cook it in that because now it's cooking faster than the sky. Just kidding. I don't know if I'll keep rolling when I'm eating. I mean, I've given a few tips, so that's great. It would have been lovely to have had other people's tips as well. Maybe they'll give them afterwards because it's in the title, so it's not like it was not in the title and deeply embedded, and people might not know that I was asking. You know. Oh, cool. Cool. See, sometimes, waiting, it's all worth it. Cast iron. That's Leslie. And let's just see for a moment here. Get two lovely viewers with one stoner. Okay. Okay. Don't want to burn things here. I'm going to turn this off. And I think he was going to do it the other day. He's going to do it the other day. Cayenne. Especially since I had that tea with cayenne earlier. That's an interesting name. It's almost like a form of the name Ryan. Okay, so I told you I'm just going to wait here and see. So I think I will keep rolling just because now I'm expecting somebody else. Maple and cream sauce, would that work? I think it might actually. I think it just might. Although I might want to have that in the pasta over the pizza tonight. I mean, sure, I could have it in both. It's just will I feel like it if I have it now. That's the thing. Now, yeah, I don't know whether I think paneer goes with this stuff or not. But I don't know. Well, our fridge is actually quite full right now, and there was somebody very briefly there. I don't know if we have more than the little bit that's left. I feel like we probably do. I just don't know where it is in the fridge. Hummus. Last time I had it, I didn't like it, but we got a lot of it. Not that it expires fast. Plus, these things fruit and a little bit of I'll take us a little bit. I don't know if I've ever had one with maple, but let's take a little bit. Surprised the dog is down here yet. Hi. Video than I thought it would be. A little bit of this, but we want it heated, right? I think so. I'll put it in this bowl. Yeah, that's good. Move this over here for a moment. It's a laptop, so it's a bit awkward to do this. I don't really want to have the laptop sitting on the top of the running microwave, or even all that close to it, really. But it's only going to be running for a moment, so. Just a little bit, though. Nothing that can't be licked off. Just kidding. This is taking a sure heck of a while. Unless it's I thought that's what I was asking, but I guess they just got that. I'm okay. How are you? Okay. Whoa. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm gonna put this cream sauce that almost got too cooked on there. Sure, that might make the cabbage, which I already cooked in butter, soggy, but hopefully the slightly firm olives that I'm gonna put in, and the cheese might help. This has been sitting in the syrup. It's not as crispy as I would like. Do I want to crisp it up? No, more? No, because I don't want to burn that. Which I also don't want to get dried out. So I'm going to put that in here. Feeling like I'm going to have an attack because trying to get out of the fridge. Hey, be good. Get Debbie down here. All right. I'm being like, what's it, but I won't. Well, first of all, my chat's not that. Second of all, I won't be negative and assume that people are being just because they're sending a lot. Look at it that way. Or put them on a pause or a timeout and lose them as a subscriber. Plus, I just wouldn't do it anyway. Most likely. Okay, so then we take a bit of olives. You know what I just realized? That since I'm not doing this with paneer, I was kind of getting bored of it anyway, but I happened to just randomly make it a little bit differently than usual and not with paneer. So it all works out. And that just kind of happened that way. I know Anna's in there, so where is she? Then he going back upstairs again? I think so. Big bean of Chicago. What's that? Is that what they call chuck now? Okay, so is there anything else I need to do for my lunch other than eat it? At this point, yeah, maybe heat it up. But I already unplugged the microwave. So yeah, I think I will. Holy smokes! There's something splashed on the bottom of that cupboard, and I don't know how because we don't usually go that wild in that area. It's on there pretty good. I wouldn't mind melting the cheese anyway, so it works. Now, a funny story about cheese is that when the dog is around, he likes to stand underneath you when you're doing cheese, and he's pretty dirty and he gets a little cheesy. I'll probably have a lot of cheese tonight, so. No, he's here. And somebody else is here, too. The dog. But you know what? It's just if it happens to fall on the ground or it's a very small piece. We try not to give him too much because, everything's expensive. Cheese is fairly expensive, included. And we ain't rich. It's good that we give him a bit of variety. He certainly is well cared for. But, yeah, we ain't rich. Oh, actually, since I put that in there, should I do it this way? I'm curious if the cheese would melt. I'm also a little bit worried that there's still syrup on the plate, that it might burn because of the syrup on the bottom, because that's just how I did it. But I'm going to try and heat that up on there, at least get it a bit crispier, and then if the cheese isn't melted, I'll melt it. And then I'm going to eat it. Woohoo! Blessed to have a full fridge. Almost hard to organize it. They didn't seem to be there very long. They said hi, and then not long later they said I'm not going to force it. Usually the person is not taggable when they're not still watching. It's somebody who acknowledges me when I send them in chat and I know likes the stuff, but must be a bit distracted today or something. Is what it is, I guess, right? Check once more over here. Nope. Okay. So it's all about me, and hopefully you join in. Let me keep that plugged in case I need it. Ooh, send it out right in here. Okay, I'm going to put this up there, this up there. What time of day is it? 1 o'clock? You may or may not be getting lunch yet. Do they always take donations like past a certain time? Or oh, they are. Okay, I thought they were supposed to be some money. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, it's amazing you do get home early sometimes then. Yeah, it's kind of weird that it's been slow. I guess people they'll be going to the lake or whatever. It's not a long weekend though, eh? Oh well, I'm gonna have lunch, and yeah, and I guess we'll see you later then. Okay, bye. And I'm needing both hands to do this. Because it's kind of big. I like it nice and crispy, but the cheese didn't really, although it started to, and if I folded it might. Certainly hot. I wouldn't want it much hotter. In fact, I think I'm going to have to let it cool off. So, yeah, I think it'll melt or it'll be fine enough. Parmesan? I didn't think it went with maple, I think was the thing. Ooh, this is warm. Okay. The water I already brought out there. I got a lotion out there. We're good. I almost feel like I want this just because even if I do go, it's not like there's much there. I don't want it to go bad. It's been a hard day because, it's been kind of quiet when I've done these. Today. Plus, actually, I'm not really a big beer drinker anyway, so I don't really like the flavor. So it'd be good to have good food. I guess I want to have the radio lightly on or something because I'm going to still roll. You can't watch anything, so. Alrighty. It's folded now, so that's a bit loud maybe. Just for YouTube. Luckily I have pretty good hearing otherwise. But it's folded, so it doesn't look that fancy now, but it's gonna be good, I'll tell you that much. And we do have somebody here. Sorry, you're getting me right as I'm about to eat. Actually, I was gonna let it cool off a little bit, but I think it has a little bit. But I can multitask. I'm just gonna grab a napkin or two. What I might invite you to do, let me just see. What I might invite you to do, other than, like I say, welcoming you here, and I grabbed way more napkins than I needed. Okay, you left. I don't mean to be bugging, but I know that they usually enjoy coming to the thing and going from one to the other. So I know that the other lady, I mean, but it has to be something thick enough, otherwise it would just go right through. She does this. I feel like I'm eating a lobster, which I would never do when I do that. That thing I was wearing must be out there. Feels like it'd be too warm, but it must be out there. So I'm doing that because this is almost empty. But this, which is not quite as far as that, might look a little funny. And I certainly don't usually do it, but because I'm rolling and a little bit behind on laundry, I will. And I might go out later and all that. I think it goes a little bit, that was still showing. I think that's that right. I think it's just that one part I've mostly finished. This is a messy lunch. Oh, hi, Anonymous. How are you? Glad you made it here. I know the other day, even though I wasn't currently live, you were going to try and come to one of the videos, and I don't think you made it. Maybe I'll check those out later, but I'm glad you're here. I'm just having lunch. But I welcome you to, in between my chewing and inability to talk, don't forget to like and subscribe. But you only watch things that are live, but I'm glad you're here. It's just some of those were a little bit quiet, and I think there's good content, if I do say so. Anyway, speaking of content, you can see what the title, the like hasn't stuck yet, but yeah, you can see what the title of it seemed like you went, maybe Max really well, but I'm glad you made it. The title of this video is, and we can talk about that. I also put in the chat some comments with some of the tips that I thought up. Really, aside from school, what's going on? You know, I talked about that in either this video or the previous video, which I did do some music in. I said, you know, I'm looking for more things to do for the most part, but I have my difficulties, and I don't know. It's you know, one person's joys are another person's struggles, I guess, or whatever the word is, you know. But yeah, and actually that really fits well with the video theme. You can see the title, like I say, and then I put some comments with some ideas. Do you have any tips or anything that you'd like tips on? Fine, speaking of plates. Yeah, the theme of this, as you can see, I know you can write, so I'm sure you can read. But I said aside from school, because I know that you're in school. Oh, you're moving? Well, hopefully you find helpers. I think you might know if you run main models, you could ask. It wasn't as crispy as I thought, but But yeah, the theme of this is tips to get through the day. What helps? What do you still struggle with? I hadn't imagined, maybe because maybe because the pieces are just too big. That this people want to call it spinach, cabbage, uh, would pull out so easily. Maybe because I didn't melt the cheese. It's like I take a bite and this piece of cabbage comes out with it. Yeah. So what tips or strategies do you use that help, or what do you, what areas do you think might need suggestions on? I feel so much mustard right. Well, she's not the only one that eats on cam, but so you can see in the chat I mentioned things like focus, deep breathing, um, conversation, talking about it, distractions. Um, those look like they may be the only ones I've mentioned. Tips for getting through the day. I'm not sure what you mean by for instance. I'm not sure if I know. Yeah, that's what I said, I guess. Everybody's got different lives, but a lot of people have very similar lives. Like it's work, it's school, it's family responsibilities. And there are lots of people who are in a stagnant rut. And so getting through the day looks different for them. you know, that's another way where it's a matter of survival, in some ways. And not always easy either way, right? Hmm. Palpitating. You're only breathing and palpitating. Oh, so you mean you're not having, you're breathing out. I get what you're saying. Have I showed you the singing bowls before? And I invite you to take a moment then to breathe with me. Just take a deep breath. Hold it for a few seconds or as long as feels comfortable and let it out. And do that a few times. Also, stretch your body a little bit, maybe. Speaking of kind of that, cloud up a bit. You haven't asked for a meat, have you? I don't think so. Mhm. I have an interesting plan for today that I might still do. I don't know. I'm going to turn the radio down because I am talking and I hear it. And it's loud on YouTube. So I've mentioned it before, so I feel a little bit repetitive as I sometimes do when I'm saying things, not knowing who's necessarily watching and if they've ever heard me say it before. Hmm. Hmm. As long as you do. Hmm. One minute. Let's see, that's all it was. So, you made it worth it. You're making it worth it. I appreciate it. Okay, that's back to the done. So I got something kind of under my tongue. There we go. That was kind of weird. So, and the thing is, people will go by statistics sometimes, but the content's usually pretty good. But people will go by the statistics and think it's been rolling for this long. Actually, I mean, I haven't been fully focusing, but the one earlier I was, and it just really wasn't many people coming in at all. But how did the breathing thing feel? Because you strike me as the kind of person, it sounds like, who maybe hasn't really done a lot of that in that way. And yeah, today I tried to do it a couple of days ago, but I was sitting on a bench that was kind of past the bridge, turning around every now and then. But I was more so concerned about getting some food home that I'd bought. When I went over it on the way there and on the way back, it was just people walking. Oh, yeah. Oh, I guess because I mentioned it. That's nice. That's something that stuck with you and hopefully helps. To be honest, I don't do it that much, but I probably should. I know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. I feel ya. But I did a little acting thing. I think you do acting, if I recall, where I the video, the title is called Reenactment. I don't remember how long it was, but I don't remember at what point it was in, but I know it was recently, and it wasn't really a reenactment. It was just a little skit. I know it's a deep topic. I've also talked about this topic sometimes on the channel. Sometimes, unfortunately, not many people hear it. Sometimes it gets some likes. It has vibe. Anywho, but basically, I kind of want to get another bike ride in because I could probably bike into the fall fairly easily. But once winter comes, unless I winterize my bike, which I don't know if it'd be worth it because, I mean, unlike G, I don't have to ride it to work. And so basically, but I also, it's partly because of a gig I almost got and the theme of that. I'm figuring anybody that was at it may have been triggered to go do something, but also people are doing these things all the time. The rail's a bit high, but I want to be a hero. I want to help somebody. I relate to the struggles sometimes, and maybe my other videos or that one where I did a little scene or whatever would explain it better. But I want to go and see if there's somebody. I want to go and sit outside for a bit, like it's a good chance to rest after biking. See if and I might bring my guitar, but I don't have access to the internet while I'm out. So I have one song, which I did in the previous video. Maybe the last half hour was the first song within that area. Love for you to hear my version, but it may or may not be hard for you to find it. And if you can't, it was called Just Be Held by Casting Crowns. And I have it open on this device, which I'm hesitant to bring it up because I'd have to disconnect it, but I could view it offline. But then I'm worried it wouldn't reconnect, and then I wouldn't be able to access my Facebook because it hasn't been working on internet, hasn't been working on the phone because I had it open on the deck once, or right, more than once. But I think one time something screwed up. And Messenger. Why should anyone do anything to avoid negative results or to achieve the result and reward? Not sure I'm understanding the question. I do know that it's good to give ourselves, rewards for our efforts, even if we aren't successful with what we're trying to do. I'm just going to go put this in the kitchen and get the dog something because I can tell he's being noisy. He's been in the creek. That was good. I'm still kind of hungry. I find when I eat well, sometimes it sparks my appetite more. You want a piece of pizza? I'll be right back. I'm just going to heat up a piece of pizza. I know that was pretty good, but so will this. Okay, it's all good. Just a small piece. I have a big appetite now that I'm finally eating. And why do we avoid negative things? Well, I think that's pretty obvious. They're not comfortable. They're not comfortable, and I think sometimes we need to. You're not the only one that does. Do things to avoid the negative result. If I don't do it would depend. I do think I have a further thought on that, though. I think I'm kind of getting what you're saying. Saying what you're getting. I feel like it's actually something that I go through quite often, and I feel like there was even an example today, and I wish I could remember what it was. Because, like I say, today hasn't been that long ago. It's actually still today. One example that I kind of think of is the preference between doing something in writing or talking to somebody on the phone or getting somebody's voicemail or reaching somebody on the phone. Even if you want an answer about something, you might prefer one way or the other. And that could be an autism spectrum thing. I'm not sure, but I know I notice that sometimes. Yeah, I guess so. But here it's only 1:25. And who else do we got watching? Don't be shy. I don't think this is the other fairly recent example that came up. I'm also just going to turn this light off because it's still going to be bright. There's sunlight coming in and it just feels like it doesn't need to be on. Save energy. But yeah, basically, who else do we got here? I'm glad to hear. Remember to like and subscribe. I know you intend to, but it does seem like sometimes the feature is being a bit wonky or it undoes it when you do it. I don't know. But so this is probably not the example, and I maybe did come and roll with it earlier today because, I have the availability a lot of the time, not always, but a lot of the time, and today I certainly would have. If I've got a thought, even if it's just, a start of a thought, and I think it could be interesting to podcast about, I sometimes do. So you might see it there, but what I think it was is there's a house in New Orleans, they call it Rising Sun, just kidding. There's a house that Jack built, just kidding again. Nearby that is been empty for a little over a month. Looks okay from the outside. And I recently found out they do not plan to rent it out again. It's a rental. And they actually plan to get rid of the house there. And that annoys me, as I've mentioned in other recent videos, because we have pretty harsh winters here. And there is the city is trying, but there are a lot of unhoused people. Now, nothing against them. I understand life is hard and things happen. And sometimes really unfortunate things like becoming homeless. I get that. But sometimes then with that comes addictions and, strong issues that, where is that? I'm just going to grab that thing I was wearing because I like it. It doesn't have sleeves, but it's kind of open at the sides, but it's nice. And yes, it's kind of maybe what some may call a hunting pattern, but I'm not a hunter. So anyway, I'm glad we have both of you here, and you've both been here for a while, but the other person seeming a bit shy. I know the comments are working, but even a like is nice. I think I only have live chat to display. Even if I don't, if I select it to display afterwards too, it doesn't always. So I'm never deleting it. All right. So I go down, okay? For the dogs being wanting attention. And so, yes, it's not today, but it was a day or two ago. So they don't want to rent it out. Right, but I feel like it could be lived in. Maybe it needs some work, but it could be lived in. I think it's not just local, but we have a thing where they have fundraising apparently, and I'm waiting to hear back from them, but they have volunteer construction crews. I don't know if they just build from the ground up or if they renovate as well. I'm looking into that option. I've even inquired, did the owner of the home, the owner of the rental, approach them? I can't think of why they wouldn't have. They're pretty well known about. But anywho, but I said, but I am, and whether it's there or somewhere else, I'd like to see what we can do. This is a bit dry, but whatever. I didn't have as much on this plate still as I thought. But so the other day, I actually went to get the get down, silly dog. Sorry, I actually went to get the land title because it seemed like it was the only way which I would find out the agency, the rental agency. Even one of the people on the phone said, it might not show contact information, but then I looked up the place, reached the right person, and yeah, the person that transferred me said she's probably going to be busy, but she did answer. It was a kind of unique name, and I heard it twice that day, which is funny because it also sort of sounds like the name of an animal. Any guesses? And I feel like I referenced the name of the animal a few days prior to even knowing, what her name was. Anywho, and I'd also like to open a drop-in center, perhaps. They do seem like they're moving kind of slow on demolishing it. No, although that could sound like Daphne, Lorga, Delphine, no, starts with a G. But the animal starts with a J, I believe. Ooh, fancy, right? A Canadian J. G. Just kidding. Actually, do you write in Asian? Do you write in Asian font as well? But that's a real skill, and to read it too. Of course, if you're used to it, then. Yeah, but what I mean is that what the word is and the name is are the same. So that good guesses, but giraffe and jaguar aren't the same animal. In case you didn't realize that. Giggly bear. Giselle. Like a gazelle? A Giselle? Anywho. So, but this is an example, and somebody's helping me out with the cost, and it wasn't a lot, but it was $32 to get this paper that I got, and it did kind of help. Yeah, it's a nice name, eh? It did kind of help, but it kind of didn't. And basically, before I went, I wanted to do that bike ride anyway, and the thing that I mentioned earlier as well. But there was certainly a part of me that sort of said to myself, I don't think this is going to work. I don't think this is going to work out. This isn't going to be worth it. I'm happy and thankful for the things I do have, and I do have. I don't exactly have the best luck sometimes. I think it's just, sometimes maybe I think I'm born in the wrong era. Or it's just, I'm not in the same, I don't have the same privileges as some people do, in the sense of like, I don't have a degree. I don't have a workplace where I'm amongst coworkers I could talk to about this. I come on here. I do have G, but he works a lot. I do have some connections, but a lot of the time I feel very isolated. And so it's kind of like, and I just always feel like I'm either missing things that I need to achieve a goal, or just simply opportunity. I mostly agree, and I realize that, but I don't think society does. they at least, or they at least expect you to have experience. Well, if you don't have the degree, I guess that's where you would get it from. But how the heck does anybody get their foot in the door and get that experience? Like, I'm under the impression that jobs don't train like they used to. They may have meetings or whatever, but just a moment. Oh, I got it, I think. Like, one thing I thought of doing recently was being a museum tour guide. And I'm going to look at, but I feel like it would have to be within the area. Now I think it's just on, because your comment just came in, the other person left. Like, oh, that reminds me, I was going to go to the museum. Sometimes you can't ignore them. Well, but also sometimes some of us learn better by seeing and doing than reading a textbook and doing exams. And we get distracted in our environments easily. And we can't afford it. I was talking about when I went to the one college. I was thinking, I was thinking about a photo shoot I did in a photography class that I was in. And it's kind of like, well, that wasn't a degree class, but I don't live near or have a reliable ride. My mother, as hard as our relationship has been at times and as toxic as she sometimes is, wants me to succeed, but I think she has not raised the bar too high, but she's tried, I've tried. Really, that's what it is. And we both probably could have done some things differently. Exactly. Yeah. It's what I would say is, if there's things that you're studying, here's a tip for you. And what are some of the things you're currently studying? I would say audiobooks or YouTube videos. And, be specific with what you search, or, focus on, okay, this relates to what I'm looking at, and it's just what it's expressing to me. I should have done it more, to be honest. I seem to remember our psych textbook had a website connected to it, and there were videos on there. So I can't say this would 100% work, but we obviously both like videos. And I think if it's on topic, maybe it'd be easier to follow that. But then as soon as you get, what was good about that website is that it was just for the textbook, I think. As soon as it was still easy to jump around. It's like, oh, well, this is interesting. I'd rather watch about this. Sure. But as soon as you get on YouTube sometimes, it's a little different when you're on a laptop like I am and you're just focused on but still. Anywho. So, I said I don't necessarily have to take a degree course, but that's kind of what I need. And it's just not accessible to me like it used to be. I used to be more able to bus. Or I don't know, I guess, my mother really did drive me all around this, well, not all around the city, but quite a bit around the city. Never traveled around, but I just give my phone to someone or put it in charge. Well, put it in charge, you can still look at it. I don't know if you did tell me that. That's very interesting because it makes me think of somebody. And also ADHD a little bit, because somebody that led an ADHD group. It has something to do with the palm, I think. I wouldn't have suggested that, not intentionally, because I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is. Anyway. So, yeah. Yeah. Did I trail off on something I was previously going on about? Oh, right. So I told myself it's not likely going to work and blah, blah. And I did. Not long after I got home, looking at the information to then contact the person, because that was kind of how it had to do it. I called and left a voicemail at one, and then I found another site, and I wasn't sure if it was the same number, but she's like, yes, I got the voicemail. I'm going to transfer you. And then, to find out they're not planning to rent it. like it's a big undertaking too. Like, I mean, financially, I don't know if I'm really equipped to do this. If I was able to get some sort of support or do the build, get it at least maybe somebody else could live in it. Maybe it's not the drop-in center, because it doesn't look that bad from the outside. So it's kind of like, then great. But anyway, at this point in time, it's still set to be demolished, and I don't know if I'll be able to stop it quick enough. Like I say, they somewhat seem to be taking their time, but that's how it seems. And no, maybe they're waiting to be able to afford to do it. I'm figuring it's not causing any issues sitting there. You didn't notice the hat with me, by the way. Speaking of, I want to be SW, which stands for character. If you can guess, feel free. There's another guessing game. And the like still isn't there, by the way. But I'm sure you're trying it. And I can tell you're liking it. I appreciate it because I'm liking it too. And I'm liking that you're liking it. But I want to be SW. Not when I'm out and about, but just to take a photo. And actually, we should be getting that email from Michelle. Speaking of Michelle. And then go do that bike ride and do that bridge thing. It did cloud up for a little bit, but the tennis player? Oh, that's Serena, which is ironic because the ADHD group I used to go to, there was a Serena in it. Serena P. As opposed to Serenity. Nope, no, it's a fictional character. That if you think about, I was upstairs in another room once when you were watching, and it kind of got into a certain topic. Yes, I would say so. And it kind of got into a certain topic. You could relate to this. It's probably a fairly common Halloween costume, actually. I mean, I could say one thing that might just very well give it away. I mean, I don't know all of them, so there might be more than one with those initials. If I said which movie, well, there might be some I'm unaware of, but and it may have been more of a TV show. The name of the character is in the title, so I guess my clue about it may remind you of something we've talked about when I was upstairs. Red, blue outfit, black hair, and possibly stars on her outfit. Oops. Why are you saying you probably haven't watched it then? Oh. But for me, the hair color would be different. And the outfit would be slightly different. I'm going to say it in another wording. I'm going to say it in another wording and see if you can figure it out. Great female identify. I don't know. Female persona. Not bad. Kind of like bands and other names. That's also fun. Maybe I'll do that someday. And then play their songs. And then parody them. That's a fun idea for a video, y'all. But yeah, so great female persona. She's probably been in comic strips too, to be honest. Also, if you were paying attention to something I said just earlier in this one, I'm talking to, the other person just got here, but may have been here before. Don't be shy. I said what I want to go out and do and how something I want to be. I know that might sound funny, but it's kind of a clue as well. And also, I'm going to add to that, aside from this guessing game, what do you think are things that you get the impression that I want to be in my life and as the person I am? It's a curious question. I'm just wondering. Where's on here? Okay. And the other person can feel free to, well, if you've never seen me before, you might not have an answer to the second question. We're talking about a fictional character. This is the first part. Fictional character that starts with SW, wears red and blue, and has long black hair. And there might be stars on her outfit. And that's giving away that part. Well, I already said that. I think I've given the best clue I could possibly give, or the best clues I could possibly give, to be honest. Yes, I'd like to be a musician. Oh, meditation preacher, I think you're saying? Because yeah. And a philanthropist. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I'll go with that. Okay, I'm updated. I mean, again, I've given the great female persona is probably the best clue I could give, but it looks like she has different outfits. So that may not have been a great clue. Some of them are mostly red. Some of them are red and blue. Or it's just different images. That one's all black by the looks of it. That one doesn't really even look like her, this picture, but I'll show it anyway because it's a good picture. It looks a little bit like her, maybe. Oh, you may have seen the words underneath it, or you may not have. I'm going to still look for a picture that I like better of her. I don't hate that picture. It just doesn't look like what I was looking for. But maybe I'm just really advantageous at it. Maybe. Okay, well, this might help. I think this will definitely help. Like that help. Especially when it became crisper. You must be tired. If you didn't get great female persona, hope is lost with you. Exactly. Ching, ching, ching. You win nothing. Except a congratulations. That's all I can give you. Or a superhero. What I and my energy level has been ebbing and flowing. And I don't know if I'm feeling a lot, but definitely, the fact that whether it's been the same second person or a different one as earlier, even though you haven't liked, hopefully you will like and subscribe and maybe comment. You have been here for a while, and then we've got on here, so I mean that's appreciated as well, and it's energized me a little bit. But if I find that it's too hot out, I probably won't. Even though we're kind of mid-September, it's still getting pretty warm. I feel that if I go, aside from maybe enjoying the nice bike ride, sure. If I play the song that I can load that I have open on my device offline and just remember to go back to, then which I already played, in the previous video. I could do it again, but I don't know. I'm worried that whether they enjoyed it or not, people would just walk past and not stop and say anything, not stop and listen, and that would annoy me. It's like, come on, I'm doing something good and deep and powerful, and I saw you asking Maxie about it, but otherwise, no. Jenny is in 8675309. Oh boy. And Snow White. But you were like, why? But now that it's Super or Wonder Woman, who was it? Is there a Superwoman? There's a Super Wonder. Anyway, um, it makes sense. I wrote a parody once. One sock. I posted it on here. It's just a short video. I've got like one sock instead of one song. One sock only for me. Yeah, his chat is very active. And I gotta wonder if the fact that this one is at least active with you, and I think one other person at one point, if that's why this is, the second person sticking around. I'm really curious. I don't want to be so shy. Am I that intimidating? Just kidding. But I'm glad you're here. I'm thinking of my friend Marianne and my cousin Jenny. I have a cousin that passed away in a highway accident named Jenny a number of years ago, and I knew her a little bit online, and I met her 2 or 3 times. Like, we weren't super close, but she was a nice lady. And then actually, it's ironic that that's the former owner of the house I was talking about name. She looks like the type that would go by Jennifer, but she goes by Jenny. I would have said there were 7 little men as the other clue. These songs are from Game of... Oh, really? I haven't watched it yet. But you haven't at all? Neither have I, to be honest, but we're the majority. It's kind of like Star Wars, Star Trek, or whatever. People are going to see this later and think, yeah, they're not the same thing. I'm like, I know no different. So 8675309 is seriously in that show now? I could try and do it. To do one that I didn't do earlier, because I certainly would have been a funny coincidence if I had. Anything to say about my cousin? No, you didn't. You said you didn't know her very well. And G's sister is passing away in hospice, by the way, just so you know, if you didn't know. Well, but you need to have I guess that's why you come and see me and Maxie. Yeah, and seriously, feel free to check out sometimes some of the non-lives, because they're just as good and worthy as well, if not better, some of them. No, just kidding. But no, I'm liking how this is rolling out. But yeah, it's important to do those things, and it's nice when it's something that you can engage with, and it re-energizes you, and you're making connection, and it's like, I know that people play video games with each other on here all the time, and I was thinking about that recently. It's kind of like, and you can meet people. Yeah, but are you actually getting to know them? Or are you just playing video games with them? Because I'm a bit more for getting to know people, and relate to people and form connections. Chapstick if you're curious, chapstick if you're not. Things like that, By the way, speaking of guessing or whatever, without Googling, and this one, well, you'd be more able to Google, but earlier I was thinking about pottery. You're talking about big series or whatever. In fact, I was watching a game show the other day, and it said, what is a thing with a lot of sequels or whatever? Do you know the actual name of J.K. Rowling? You did watch one well, they're all recorded, but I know what you mean. But there was someone else, a little old. Oh, okay. No, but that was ages ago, and you commented on it, and it was piano playing. That was G. I think you mean a little older. Does he look young though? With blonde hair and this and that? Yeah, me neither. except for comments and stuff online. Books, not so much these days. Why are you mentioning? Oh, right, Harry Potter. That doesn't mean you don't know what her name is, does it? I guess maybe. And he's actually, yeah, he's 60, 61. Okay, as long as you give my regards to Broadway. Give my regards to Broadway. I don't know the rest of the song. Well, I recently heard it. The only part I remember, and it could be because we have a lady with this name on our street, is Joanne. Yeah, do you know it already? Is Joanne. I mean, I could stand to know her as something other than J.K., and I'm not like a top fan or anything, but I would never have guessed it was Joanne. Maybe Jennifer or Giselle. Or Justine, anything other than, what was it? Joanne, right? That's G Hazel to you. Giselle is actually, I believe, Jezell, I believe, or AZ. Quite unthinkable and unacceptable. How dare she have any other? Actually, I learned something else because I was watching this game show and it was about people's real names or whatever. Did you know that Mark Twain is not Mark Twain's real name? If you've heard of Mark Twain, I know you said don't read much, but he's been around for ages. And there was somebody else. I wish I could remember some of the other ones in that one, but I can't. But I might do 8675-309. I almost don't really care if I bring a shower into this, but I do have a burning question for them. I hope Casablanca Oceans or whatever that one meant by Max's chat is doing well, and then I know the two admins. Yeah, and I heard this just literally last night. I want to say it was Steven something. Google can tell us, but I'm going to Google 8675-309 because that would actually be a fun song to do. Hey, anybody ever tried calling it, by the way? I'm sure there's some pranksters out there. I feel like I have. And either it doesn't include an area code, it doesn't look like it does, or it was a not in service number. But I dare you to try it. Tommy two-tone is as opposed to three-tone. Whoops. What do you mean, what song is it? It's 8675-309 Jenny. All in caps. What else would it be? Joanne? Giselle? Sorry. Come on, Psychic Viewer. Anonymous is enjoying it. Maybe it's just not working. Give me a little LOL or something. Give me something to work with. Again, I can't complain that I'm hoping you're here because you're enjoying it. You're getting something that's brightening your day, like the sun. But even better than the sun. Anywho, so I'm going to cover that song, I think. I do recommend that you check out Just Be Held. It's not CH, it's CC. And the J ones, too. And the never mind. Vavroom. Sorry. So, that said, you want guitar, piano? I got the guitar right beside me. I got the piano over there closer to. I'm kind of wanting to do it. Let's see. What are the chords? Who cares what you think? It depends on what the chords are. And again, some people could think, well, that was rude, but I did say it in a joking manner, right? And I know that you know that, so yeah. And it seems like the other person does too, because if I was rude, why would you want to watch it, right? Why? I say why. And I'm very curious why you are. I know An's enjoying the conversation, but I'm curious. What is it that you're enjoying? So I can do more of it for you next time. And keep doing it this time. I promise I don't always have a lot of energy. I get depressed and this morning I was mornings in general. I'll be curious to see if the second person sticks around, but I hope that on well to hear the song. I just have to run upstairs very briefly. And while I'm up there, should I do the other thing? Because the JGJ thing, I like it. It reminds me of there was this place you can stay for a few days, and it's like a community thing. Um, um, Serving sorry, I have something in my tooth still from eating. People in the mental health community and that kind of thing, and other ones too, for that matter. And one time, somebody, actually his name was Arn, I believe, for Arnold, and then he came back, but I did. Just kidding. Anyway, but said something about Bassa fillets. This fillets. I thought I really like it, but I could not think of fish, which I don't like. But and I said Bath with Phyllis. I was going to say Hazel because there was a Hazel involved, and that sounded like, yeah. Anyway, at least I think she was there. Yeah, because I remember she used to say, "Oh, Phyllis, oh that Phyllis." Anyway, and then we put up a little sign on the wall saying, "Have you seen Phyllis? Check the bath or whatever." And Jen, actually, ironically, came into the room. I don't know if we said, "What's that on the wall?" or if she noticed. She's pretty a rare person, I think. And she said, "Oh, who's Phyllis?" It says, "I don't know, but you might want to go check on her." I might watch this with G tomorrow because the thing crashed. So we have Merrick Says is the show we've been watching. We'll probably watch a bit of that, but I might watch a bit of this too. I feel giddy and pretty. Anyway. Okay, so I'm going to do the song. And then it's Friday, right? Or is it Saturday there now? Doing much with your weekend? Have you seen me on the guitar before? I can't remember. Gotta be about the 5th or 6th video you've seen, but a lot of them are just talk. I know this was the first one I was cooking and eating. Saturday, here in the park, thinking about a 4th of September. Do da da do people. That's a fun song. What is that song? I'm looking it up. I typed July wrong, but hopefully they'll get it. Oh, really? Okay. But I do want to remember to do Jenny because she asked so nicely. Sorry. Bad joke, free spirited, no filter. Just going to make coffee. Glad you guys didn't seem to mind. Anyway, so without any further ado, as opposed to further I don't. And no, I'm not opposed to it. No, it's good. Anyway, I hope I answered your question earlier. I hope that what I said helped, because you obviously were asking my opiniona. Oh, and I may have trailed off from that actually. So yeah, I mean, it feels like Oh well, A64309. What? Okay, wait. No, but I don't think that. Well, of course, like in a song, I don't think that there's a Jenny with a number, unless it's a parody. I'm confused. I should write a parody of it, shouldn't I? But yeah, so it may have been off a null. Oh, the old Stones. Okay, well, I don't know that one. Unless you mean the Rolling Stones, because they're old. But I don't know that one. I'll have to look it up or something. But anyway, so yeah, it could have been. And the dog's sitting here watching as well and blinking and looking relaxed. And then I'll come home, open up, just ready and be ready for a nap. Actually, it's probably good that I go closer to when I left. Yeah, I might be. In some ways, I'll be disappointed if there's not someone to help. But in some ways, I'll be like, okay, good, because Well, it's not like just because there wasn't doesn't mean that people aren't doing those that kind of thing locally or anywhere else in the world. But again, like I say, I can't save everybody, but I can try. But yeah, but I did the thing anyway, even though I was avoiding it, because I'm hoping it pays off for me and so many other people. And if you're watching this and like maybe the person who's being a bit shy, it's like I wish I had his energy. I wish I could make quick jokes like that. I wish I might finally wish I dreamed tonight. I'm reminded of Emily. My spirit told me that she was crying in the other room for similar reasons. You can have it in the sense of sharing, in the sense of enjoying the fact that I do, if that makes sense. I wish, yeah, I know, but heck, just happy that it's here. Maybe they've fallen asleep. In which case, I better play something rocking. Maybe by Tommy Two Tone or 3, from Timbuktu or 4. If you could donate a few bucks, I'd be appreciative. Anna, did you? Oh no, I think you're back. Anywho, but I guess we're talking about them too much. Like, I just woke up. They're talking about me still. Nothing bad, but they've already left, so they won't know that. But yeah, we were talking about, was it in Maxie's? I think we were. Somebody was talking about Peter Pan and Tinkerbell and granting wishes, and there's good songs about wishes actually. And I almost got to play Genie. Oh yeah, I'm trying to figure out this casting role. I forgot to ask G, and now, well, it says it's been kind of slow at work, so maybe I should call and ask him again in a moment. We got to the 17th enroll, but I don't know if it's going to be first come, first serve. Would you like to? Well, you've seen G, you have, but would you mind if I pretended? This is a song too. I'll do this before I forget it. Would you mind if I pretended I was speaking of Serena, oh, your friend Serena Ryan, local, I think. Said one day we'll hope to live. I am free in the knees. I'll stand if you want me to. I remember this by the bridge line. My legs are strong, but I'll turn you on. In the knees. Would you mind if I came over and I kissed your face in front of all your friends? I'm mixing verses up here, but I used to. But I was now just words and I don't know what for. I am in the knees. I'll stay if you want me to. My legs are strong, but I'm sunny. Oh, honey, I'm weak. Of you. Not just repeats. I haven't heard that song in ages. I would really, 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 really love for you to stay long enough to hear about Jenny, but I also would really, really, really love to take a break from talking for a moment, introduce the topic. If G's able to talk on the phone, we're at work. There's something pressing that I want to ask about, and then you'll get to hear him for a moment, and then we'll go from there. The JGs, I didn't realize how much. Well, they'll keep you okay. The CGs and the GCs and the who put the bop in the bop shabop shabop, who put the ram in the ramalama ding dong. I thought of that the other day, and then lime in the coconut too. By the way, lovely song play. Thank you. I'm thinking you probably know that Jenny song, by the way. I'm hoping you do, and if not, you will when I play it. Just a moment. Oh, thanks for the award. I wish I was actually winning one, but I appreciate it. I won't be more than 10 minutes on the phone. Probably less. If we even reach them. Might not. Just wait. Then I'm going to wrap up and relax. I'll just ask him when he gets home. We'll try him again in a bit. Busy at work. Okay, so time for Jenny. Woohoo! And if somebody, you know what I would love and adore? I don't know where the area code is. It's got to be for something. Oh, actually, that's right. 86753. Oh, there's only 7 digits. So how about this? How about this? Are either of you kind of pranksters, or would you like to have a little extra fun? I don't necessarily agree with pranking sometimes, but this is just such a fun idea. And I bet you, well, that's the thing. You could call and say, I wonder, I just wanted to ask if Jenny's ever, if anybody's ever reached Jenny or something of that nature. I know, watch me get cursed because of the thing. It's just harmless fun compared to, kind of like the other thing, compared to some things people do, like, but there's no area code connected to those digits. So I would say put yours. Heck, I could even do it. But, and then the phone rings. Oh, she's calling back. Just a minute. Okay. Hello? Yeah, I talked to you earlier today, remember? But are you at lunch now? Okay. Well, do you have time to update me on anything about that film thing?
So I think after it's over, the audition deadline is the 17th, right?
Yeah.
So we had 5 days. But you're the only one of us
that could at that date. No, there was one in the 60, but you'd have to have a wife and a kid. But well, they were looking for older male and female. But and I don't think you're looking your 60s. Maybe they take your grandpa. This is sounding funny in the podcast. We're talking about some rules for the filming thing that's happening. Anyway, yeah. So basically, but also you'd probably be working those days unless you could not be. But then I would really hope that they pick both of us, and I could see that they might not, unless we say we're a package deal. Okay. All right. Yeah. And yeah, I know there's no rush unless it's a first come first serve thing. But
do that.
okay. And I talked a little bit about that in last night's video. Near the end. Okay, we lost. Did we lose both of you, or is Ann still here and it's just showing wonky again, or just dropped for a moment? Yeah, that was a little bit longer than expected, but. Oh. Just need to take a breather anyway. Don't do it right after you've swallowed something. I mean, that was right after, but not during, is I guess what I meant. Okay, Ann may have left, but I sort of want to do this song. I went to go call Jenny. Do I want to do that myself and see? I feel like I have years ago. And I don't think I reached anybody. Doesn't mean I wouldn't this time. I could even tweak it a little bit so it doesn't sound quite so funky, quite so intentional. And I could say, is Jennifer there? Oh, I'd be cursed. But again, it's not the worst thing I could do. There are worse things I could do than you're on. On, is that you back? I was just about to call Jenny. Send her after you. Mm-hmm. So I might do that, although I'd rather that the person watching, and I play the song in the background. That way they'd hear it, because otherwise they probably wouldn't stay on the phone long enough. And then they say, would you like to hear the song? Oh, it is you. So yeah, whatever your area code is, and then 8675309. If you were just giving us privacy on the phone, we didn't mind. With that call, it was nothing hugely private. And like I say, I'm free-spirited, so I mean, I spill things unintentionally anyway, but I try not to with some things, but we wouldn't have minded. Okay, I'm going to play Jenny. Nicely. And feel free to call her and ask, is Jennifer ever available at this number? Is there ever a Jennifer at this number? And I'm going to play the song in the background to make it extra fancy. And the second person that just tuned in, okay. Remember to like. What's going on with that like button? Just kidding. Jenny, who can I turn to? You give me something I can hold on to. I know you think I'm like the others before. I know your name and numbers on the wall. Jenny, I got your number. I need to make you mine. Jenny, don't you take your number. 8675309. 8675309. Hey, Jenny, how are you? Jenny, you're the girl for me. You don't know me, but you make me happy. I tried to call you before, but I lost my nerve. Tried my imagination, but I was disturbed. Jenny, I got your number. I need to make you mine. Jenny, don't change your number. 8675309. 8675309. I don't know C# on this instrument. I got it. I got your number on the wall. I got it. I thought the band was something more popular. Not that he isn't, but it's like a 2-hit wonder type thing. And then the guitar intro with bass and a solo. And I'm going to have to listen to the actual song. I don't know if I thought it was Buffalo or Dusty Springfield or something. Song for all the Jennies out there. Oh, good. Your like finally stuck. Or you finally put it. One of the two. And I'm dying to know which one. Did you try Jenny? Did you? I am having fun. It only took mostly just the two of us. And it's really made this worthwhile and enjoyable and brightened my day. I'm glad that I oh, by the way, this might be a good time to try putting your email again, by the way, while I'm thinking about it. I'll type it in to a notepad or something since I can't find a pen at the moment. And you would definitely give a call to Jenny or to me or both. You can email me a way to. I don't use WhatsApp, but I do use Messenger. And I could always bring you in on camera, although I'm doing this via the laptop and I don't know how to bring you on the screen. But as long as that's almost just as good as him never saying. But I could do it. I could very briefly. We could meet by me. I think you may have left, but I'm not sure. By me very briefly doing a live stream on this in a few minutes, and I know that the option shows there, and it's better connection without the with that new thing there. Well, yeah, of course you do. Okay. See, and I'd love to hear that. I'd love to hear that. So I'm tempted to do that. Then you get to see me, and we get to hear Jenny, and then we ask for the Lord's forgiveness. It's not that bad. We're just having a little fun. People are doing it all the time. I'm sure some of them are blessed. Kind of thing, right? How about that? That would be a great way to end this off. Although like I say, I have to do it via the cell phone. This is a laptop. But that would be delightful. And then we'll see what it isn't. I don't know what's going on. Somebody else I think had that problem too, but it was on their channel. You have it on your channel? Or could you put it on your channel even if you don't have content? Maybe I can look for it there. I don't regret having the other guy, I forget his name. I used to. I think I decided I didn't want to keep it there though, for privacy reasons. But yeah, well, the other guy. I mean, I don't hate him, but I mean, I could say it to you. It's near the end of this video, so I don't know what that is. You're not calling Jenny at the moment, right? I'm going to say it quickly to you, mine, because this is the end of the video. No, almost near the end of the video. Nobody's here. My email's been a bit wonky, so I'm actually bored, geez, a little bit, but it mostly works, and you can send me the link. coltynrocks@gmail.com. .com. coltyn rocks at gmail. Okay, good. Got it? Get it? Good. Get it? Got it? Good. Right. At Gmail. Are you asking what it is, or are you asking what's a Colton rock? I know about molten rock. No, just kidding. It's me. I can't believe I didn't think. I think I didn't do it last time because someone kept tuning in. And I didn't want them to know. I might send you. Well, you're seeing me, but I might send you some pictures if I dress up anytime soon. And you can send me the video, and maybe I'll send you some specific YouTube videos. I might like it if you could watch at some point. No, it's not. But you got mine now, so let's not worry about. I'll have yours when you send me, right? Now, do you want to do the other cool thing? Oh, on your page, if you're asking that, I don't know. I'm doing this right now. I'm actually kind of curious also if the live chat displays. I'm pretty sure it does because I've done. Oh, right, I have that open. Not the end of the world, but I actually have one of mine open, not to sound conceited, because there was a part in the title that I don't remember having titled it that, and I probably did. I just don't remember why I was talking about drums. And also, I like to look for ones that I might want to show G, who's usually away at work. And now I could look for certain ones to send you. Maybe you seem to like a lot of stuff, but ones that I especially would like a little bit of conversation about on or something would be terrific. I hit a Guinness record recently, actually. But yeah, so I could go from that, and then the rest is just my live list. And I could do that, and then yeah. I'm just going to turn this light off. Would you like to, because well, Gmail chat might work. We wouldn't necessarily be able to hear each other. But I could try and do Gmail chat first, and if it doesn't work, and if you sent me something, I'll look. I don't know if you can multitask on your device or have more than one device. But, oh, right. Now I had this thing open trying to find my resume. Again, about me. Just kidding. But, there's reasons why people look up their resume sometimes, right? Like becoming a famous Hollywood actor. Not in Hollywood, I'm glad they sent that. Have you sent something? I do already see the video symbol too, actually. So when you do, we could try and call each other on there. But if it doesn't work in a few moments, I could roll live on the phone, which would have the option to bring you onto the screen for a very brief moment. I mean, I'm pretty much podcasted out at this point, but very briefly, so we can see each. I might even delete the video afterwards. Just use it as a place to do the call if Gmail doesn't work. That would be lovely. Finally, put a face to the name. Okay, in video, I guess, but just we could try it in Gmail then, eh? I mean, you are here commenting on YouTube. Anyway, hopefully I'll receive an email once I wrap this up, and then I won't keep you much longer because you need to get to bed and I'm tired. Okay, cool. I'm going to wrap this up and watch for your email coming in then. Glad we got that figured out. Sorry, I was just going back to the thing that I had open there. Okay, talk to you shortly. Thanks. Take care, everybody. Signing out. See ya. Have a nice day. Should I expect your email in the next few minutes? Because I'm thinking that's what we're saying. Singing. See ya. Have a nice day. Sing, rock, walk, breathe. Exactly. And we'll see if I wrap this up, if it comes.